Hello, dear one. I am so glad you're here. Right now, at this very moment, you are safe. You are held. You are supported by something greater than the fear, the pain, or the confusion that might be sitting quietly in your heart. Take a breath. Let's take it together, slow and gentle. Inhale and exhale. You've done something very loving just now by showing up, by choosing to listen, by choosing to be here. That means you're ready. You're ready to feel more at peace with yourself. You're ready to let go of old patterns that no longer serve you. You're ready to step into a softer, kinder way of living inside your own mind. I know that life can sometimes feel heavy, like you've been carrying a weight for far too long. Maybe it's the voice that criticizes you when you wake up, or the tightness in your chest that says you're not good enough. Maybe you've been through things that made you question your worth. Maybe you've learned to hide your true feelings just to keep the peace. But today, we're going to do something different, something gentle, something healing. We're not going to fix anything because you are not broken. We're going to see you. We're going to speak to the part of you that's been waiting to be heard. You see, healing begins the moment you stop running from yourself. It starts when you pause, take a breath, and say, "Yes, I am willing." That willingness, that open heart, that tiny yes, it is more powerful than any doubt. It doesn't matter where you've been or how long you've struggled. It doesn't matter how many times you've tried before. Right now, in this soft moment, you get to begin again, and not with force, not with pressure, but with love, with compassion, with gentleness. There is nothing more beautiful than watching someone return to themselves, to come back home to the heart they once closed, to speak kindly to the mirror when the world has not been kind. That's what we'll do together. We're going to speak to the mirror, not with demand, but with love, not with fear, but with hope. And in that mirror, you'll see more than a face. You'll see the truth of who you are. You'll see the light that's been there all along, waiting for your attention. Now, you may be feeling nervous or unsure. You may wonder, will this really work for me? That's okay. That's natural. You don't need to believe it all right now. You don't need to feel perfect. All you need is a little willingness to try. Just a little opening, like the way a flower opens slowly to the sunlight. The practice we'll explore is gentle. It doesn't ask you to be anyone else. It simply invites you to love the person you already are. And oh, how beautiful that person is. Let me tell you something tender. Your thoughts are powerful. Every thought you think creates a feeling, and that feeling speaks to your body, your energy, your emotions. When you think a loving thought, your body softens, your breath deepens, your heart opens. When you think a fearful thought, your body tenses, your stomach tightens, you close down just a little more. We all do this. We learn to protect ourselves from pain. But healing comes when we gently remind ourselves again and again, I don't need to protect myself from my own love. Today, you'll learn to speak to the mirror as if you're speaking to your own soul, to whisper soft words of truth that your heart already knows but may have forgotten. This is not about pretending or forcing. It's not about fixing what's wrong. It's about coming back to what's already right within you. The mirror is a sacred space, not because of the reflection it shows, but because of the reflection it allows you to feel. You get to stand in front of it not with criticism or shame, but with curiosity and tenderness. You get to look into your own eyes and say, I am here, I am listening, and I am willing to love you. At first, it might feel strange. You might not know what to say. You might even look away. That's all okay. There is no right or wrong way to begin. Just the beginning itself is enough. Even standing in front of the mirror in silence is a step. Even one soft whisper of kindness is a step. These small steps create great change, not overnight, but gently, quietly, with grace. Your subconscious mind is always listening. It listens to the tone of your voice. It listens to the words you speak, especially the words you repeat. That is why mirror work is so powerful. Because when you say something kind to yourself while looking into your own eyes, your mind believes it more deeply. It accepts it more fully. It begins to live on. Your inner world starts to shift. And when your inner world shifts, everything else does too. You may have spent years believing thoughts that were never really yours, thoughts passed down from others, thoughts born from pain or fear, thoughts that told you that you were not enough. But you are not those thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. And now you get to choose new thoughts, thoughts that nourish you, thoughts that bless you, thoughts that tell the truth of your spirit. So if there's one thing I want you to take with you today, it is this. You are worthy of your own love. You don't have to wait for someone else to give it to you. You don't have to prove anything or be perfect. You can begin right now, exactly as you are, with a breath, with a whisper, with a soft glance into your own eyes. Tomorrow, you'll begin the mirror practice. For now, just feel the possibility. Feel the softness of this moment. Feel the way your heart is responding, even if it's just a flicker. That flicker matters. That flicker is the start of a flame. And you, dear one, are worthy of burning brightly. You always have been. It's quite common when we begin something new to feel a little unsure, especially when that something new is as intimate as speaking kind words to our own reflection. That mirror can feel like a stranger at first. It may even feel like an enemy, especially if you've spent years avoiding it or using it only to judge yourself. So if your heart tightens when you think about this practice, know that you're not doing it wrong. You are doing it with awareness, and that is the first act of healing. We live in a world that trains us to look outward for validation, to seek approval, praise, even permission from others before we dare to love ourselves. But that seeking never truly satisfies, does it? Because what the heart longs for isn't external approval, it's internal peace. That peace begins when you turn toward yourself, not away. And the mirror is one of the most powerful tools for doing just that. As you stand before the mirror, you may notice a voice rise up. It might say, "This is silly," or "This won't work," or even, "I don't deserve this." That voice is not your truth. It is simply an echo of the old programming, the old wounds, the old habits of self-rejection. And those habits, dear one, were learned, which means they can be unlearned. Let's talk about that inner resistance for a moment. Let's be friends. Resistance shows up when something new is about to happen. When you're on the edge of change, it is not the enemy. It's just the nervous system trying to keep you safe in the only way it knows how, By clinging to the familiar, even if the familiar is painful, you can thank it. You can say, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm safe now. It's okay to try something new." That's how we begin to soften the resistance, not by fighting it, but by listening and reassuring it. Resistance is like a child that needs comfort, not correction. It needs to be held, not punished. And when you offer yourself that tenderness, something beautiful begins to happen. The fear starts to melt. The inner tension starts to release. Your whole being begins to trust you again. You don't need to overcome resistance. You simply need to sit with it, to hold space for it, and to take gentle steps forward, even with the discomfort. That's where the true transformation lives, in the willingness to stay with yourself through the awkwardness, through the tears, through the disbelief. Because beneath all of that is the truth that's been waiting to be spoken. And that truth sounds something like this: I matter, I am worthy, I am loved. The mirror doesn't ask you to be flawless. It doesn't ask you to perform. It simply reflects. It gives you the opportunity to meet yourself where you are. And that, dear one, is a sacred meeting. It is the beginning of a new relationship, not with someone else, but with the one person you will spend every moment of your life with, yourself. This journey, keep this in your heart. The mind may resist, but the soul always recognizes love. So even if the mind tries to argue or the emotions rise up, let your soul lead. Let love lead. Let gentleness be your guide. You are not here to fight yourself. You are here to remember how deeply lovable you are. And you don't need to wait another day to begin. All it takes is one whisper, one soft, sacred whisper into the mirror, just once, and the healing begins. When the time feels right, when your heart feels just a little softer, your breath a little deeper, you can begin to whisper the words. These are not just words, they are keys. Keys that unlock parts of you that have been waiting in silence. The phrase I want you to speak is simple, but it carries deep truth. I am worthy of love, healing, and miracles. Speak it slowly, speak it softly. Let the words linger. Let them echo through your chest. Let them travel through every part of your being. This is not about convincing yourself of something untrue. This is about remembering. This is about awakening to what your soul has always known, but what the mind may have forgotten. You are worthy. There is something powerful that happens when we whisper gentle truths. The whisper is soft enough to bypass the critical mind. It isn't in demand. It doesn't force. It simply offers. And the heart listens. The nervous system relaxes. The body opens. It is not the loud declarations that change us. It is the tender ones. The ones we speak to ourselves when no one else is watching. When you stand before your mirror and say, I am worthy of love, healing, and miracles, you are sending a signal to every cell in your body, a signal of safety, a signal of hope, a signal that love is not just something outside of you, but something that lives within. A signal that it is now safe to receive, to let go, to open. If it feels strange at first, that's all right. If you don't believe the words right away, that's okay too. The power is not in your belief, it is in your willingness. Just saying it is enough. Your subconscious is always listening, and over time, it will soften. It will begin to accept this new story because it is the truth. You can whisper it in the morning, just after waking, before the world rushes in. Let it be your first act of the day, looking into your own eyes and offering love. You can whisper it at night when the day has done all it could. Let it be your final message to your spirit before sleep. And if you can only do it once a day, once a week, or just when it feels right, that's perfect too. This isn't about perfection, this is about presence. The whisper doesn't need to be loud, it just needs to be true. I am worthy of love, healing, and miracles. Feel how it sits on your heart. Let the meaning pour into you like warm sunlight. Let it soak into the soil of your being. These words are medicine. They are the balm for every part of you that has felt forgotten, dismissed, or unloved. They speak to the child within who longed to hear it. They speak to the adult who still does. They speak to the soul who already knows and is rejoicing at your remembering. As the days go by, the whisper becomes a song, a rhythm, a heartbeat. It starts to move through you in subtle ways. You begin to notice the tension in your body releasing. You begin to soften when you speak to yourself. You begin to feel less alone in your thoughts. That's the power of this phrase. That's the power of choosing to whisper love into the mirror. You don't have to feel something big right away. You may feel nothing, or you may feel everything. The tears, the tingles, the smiles, the sighs, let them come, or let them stay quiet. Both are beautiful. The whisper works beneath the surface. It waters seeds you may not even see, but they're there, and they are growing. Every time you whisper, you are healing. Every time you whisper, you are rewriting the story. Every time you whisper, you are creating a new home within yourself, one built on love, acceptance, and truth. It's beautiful how something so small, so gentle, can create such a shift. That is the gift of love. That is the power of truth. And that is what lives in you now, softly unfolding. When you speak to yourself with kindness, you do more than change your thoughts. You change your chemistry. You change your energy. The mirror becomes a doorway, not to another world, but to the world within. The moment you look into your own eyes and speak the truth, something ancient stirs. The body listens. The soul listens. Even the silence listens. You may not see it right away, but something shifts. Your shoulders relax. Your jaw loosens. The air feels lighter. Your breath deepens. These are small signs, sacred signs, that the body is receiving, that it is beginning to trust your voice again. For so long, your inner world may have heard only criticism, only fear, only doubt. But now it hears love. Love calms the nervous system. Love eases the heart. Love opens the body to healing. When you speak kindly to yourself in the mirror, you are practicing a kind of emotional medicine, a kind that needs no prescription, only presence, only sincerity. Even if you've never done this before, even if the mirror feels like a stranger, you can begin. Begin where you are. Begin as you are. There's no need to wait for confidence or clarity. They will come. For now, just allow the words to rise. I am worthy of love, healing, and miracles. Speak them softly. Speak them slowly. Speak to them like you're learning to believe. Let the mirror be your witness. Let your eyes meet your soul. This is more than self-talk. This is soul talk. This is how you create a new atmosphere inside your mind, a garden of peace where love grows. Over time, the body responds. You may feel lighter in your step, more open in your chest, more present in your life. You may notice old wounds surfacing, not to hurt you, but to be healed. That is the miracle of this work. It brings up what needs to be seen, and in the seeing, it transforms. You are not alone in this. Every whisper into the mirror connects you with others around the world who are also choosing love, one gentle phrase at a time. There is a quiet revolution happening, and it begins in hearts just like yours. Whispering this phrase is not about making anything happen. It's about allowing something to be revealed. The truth is already inside you. Worthiness already exists in your being. Love is already here. The whisper simply clears the path. It lets you hear what was always true. Give yourself the grace to be a beginner. Give yourself the grace to try. And if your voice trembles, let it tremble. If your eyes fill with tears, let them fall. That's the sound of healing. That's the song of truth returning. Let's walk gently through the days ahead. 7 days of mirror practice. 7 days of returning home to yourself. This is not a test. It's not a challenge. It's a ceremony, a gentle remembrance. Each day a soft touch. Each whisper of a loving seed planted in your spirit. On the first day, you may stand in front of the mirror and feel awkward. Your eyes may dart away. Your voice may falter. That's okay. Just being there is enough. Let the phrase be like a soft breeze. You don't have to force it. You just have to say it, even in a whisper. I am worthy of love, healing, and miracles. By the second day, something may begin to stir. Maybe a tear, maybe a memory, maybe a warmth. Don't judge it, just witness it. This is a sacred movement. The soul is awakening. You are gently opening to a new way of relating to yourself. By the third day, you might begin to feel a little more comfortable. Your eyes might linger a little longer in the mirror. Your breath may steady. The words might land deeper. They may begin to feel true, or at least less unfamiliar. By the fourth day, you may notice a quiet strength rising within you. The whisper no longer feels like a foreign language. It begins to feel like your own voice, your true voice, the one that has been patiently waiting behind all the noise. By the fifth and sixth days, the mirror becomes a space of peace, a place where you go not to criticize, but to connect. You begin to feel safe in your own presence. You begin to trust your own heart. That's the beauty of this practice. It doesn't just change the moment, it changes the relationship you have with yourself. And on the seventh day, something quiet and beautiful happens. There's a shift. It may not be loud, but it's profound. You realize you've been speaking to your reflection, yes, but also to your soul. You've been nourishing a part of you that was hungry for kindness. You've been tending to your own garden, and now little blossoms of self-love begin to bloom. The journey doesn't end here. It begins here, with these whispers, these days, with this sacred return to your own heart, and in every whisper forward, you carry the knowing. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of healing. I am worthy of miracles. You've come so far already to meet yourself in the mirror day after day with nothing but your presence, your breath, your voice. This is no small act. This is healing. This is the quiet strength of someone choosing to love themselves, even when it feels unfamiliar, even when it feels tender, even when it feels hard. And now, I want to remind you, wherever you are in this journey, you're doing beautifully. Healing isn't always loud. It's not always full of big signs or dramatic shifts. Sometimes it's as gentle as showing up again, whispering again, softening again. There may be moments when you feel like nothing is happening. That's only because you can't always see the roots growing beneath the surface, but they are. Every kind word you whisper into that mirror is a drop of nourishment, and you are growing stronger, more open, more in tune with your own spirit. You may not notice it at first, but over time you'll catch glimpses in the way you speak to yourself after a mistake. This way your body exhales more easily. In this way you pause before judging yourself. These are the signs that love is taking root. And when it feels hard to continue, return to the simplest truth. You are already enough. You don't need to perform worthiness. You don't need to prove healing. You only need to show up with kindness, with patience, with honesty. Even if all you can do some days is place your hand on your heart and breathe, that is more than enough. There is no race here, no deadline. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. The work you're doing is sacred, and it's yours, unique, unfolding in its perfect way at its perfect pace. Let that be your comfort. Let that be your anchor. Healing cannot be rushed, but it also cannot be stopped once it begins. Now, if your practice is starting to feel like a comfort, like something your soul looks forward to, you may be ready to expand it. You've whispered your truth. You've stood in your own loving gaze. And now you might feel called to say even more, to go deeper, to explore further. You can absolutely do that. Perhaps after your whisper, you might add a word of thanks, a soft thank you body, or thank you heart for keeping me going. Gratitude opens doors, it softens barriers, and when it comes from a sincere place, it multiplies love within you. Gratitude isn't always about things outside. It can be about your breath, your resilience, your presence. Or maybe, as you look into your eyes in the mirror, you ask a question, not with demand, but with gentle curiosity. A question like, what do you need today? And then you pause, you listen. Your soul will answer in its own way, in sensations, in feelings, in subtle guidance. Your body is always speaking. You're simply learning how to hear it again. You might find yourself smiling at your reflection. That's a beautiful sign. Not because you're pretending to be okay, but because something within you is starting to feel safe. Safe to be seen, safe to be cared for, safe to be loved by you. You may even notice that your tone is changing. The way you speak to yourself is becoming warmer, softer, more compassionate. That is what this practice teaches. It doesn't demand change, it nurtures it. Let this practice be your quiet ritual, your sacred pause. You can place your mirror where you'll see it often, a reminder of your devotion to yourself. And if you miss a day or forget or just don't feel like it, that's okay. Come back when you're ready. The mirror will still be there. Your love will still be there. Let it evolve naturally. Let it become a space where you meet yourself honestly. Some days with joy, other days with tears. Both are welcome. All parts of you are welcome. And now, take a moment to reflect on how far you've come, not in a way that pressures you to be done, but in a way that honors your willingness. It takes courage to do this kind of work, to face the parts of yourself that were silenced, to return to the mirror again and again and say, I choose love. Even if the voice shakes, even if the eyes water, even if the mind resists, you still showed up. And that is something to celebrate. You're not who you were when you first began. Something inside you has softened. A door has opened. The truth has become more familiar. You are remembering who you are, and who you are is love. You may notice the world around you shifting. People may respond to you differently. Your choices may begin to change, not because you're trying to change anything, but because your energy is different. When we love ourselves, we move differently. We speak differently. We live from a place of fullness instead of fear. And that fullness blesses everything it touches. So as you move forward, I invite you to keep choosing love, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Choose it in your thoughts, in your words, in your whispers. Choose it when you stand in front of the mirror and when you walk through the world. Love is not a destination, it's a practice, a gentle, ongoing relationship with yourself. It's the way you breathe, the way you pause, the way you speak to yourself in quiet moments. Let this be your truth. I am allowed to be gentle with myself. I am allowed to grow slowly. I am allowed to be loved exactly as I am. These are not just affirmations, they are truths. And when you speak them often enough, your heart begins to believe, your body begins to trust, your life begins to reflect it. There may still be moments of doubt, that's human, but now you have something you didn't have before. You have your own voice as an anchor, your own whisper as a guide, and that changes everything. So keep the mirror close, but keep your love closer. Let it be the ground you walk on. Let it be the breath that steadies you. Let it be the light that guides you back to yourself. And when in doubt, when the world feels too heavy or your mind feels too loud, come back to the phrase that began this journey. I am worthy of love, healing, and miracles. Say it softly, say it slowly, say it like a lullaby to your soul, and know that it is true. You are loved, you are healing, you are whole.